Aetherium is a game based in the quantum world. So basically think like Total Recall meets Tron with a little bit of player one in it. So the biggest factor that I like about this game is that the game can change at any time during the game. You can rotate the tiles, you can move the tiles away.
Okay.
So it's an I play, you play type of format. So there's always somebody playing, there's always a turn being activated.
Okay.
Basically how the game works is your avatar gives you RAM. Avatar over here. Your avatar gives you RAM, which you keep track of on this card. Allows you to be able to rotate and move the schemes. We have a simple attack form, the hits and successes and hits.
Okay.
So you have to roll your dice, and what you match is how your hit goes versus light, medium, and heavy.
Okay.
All the girls or all the cards interact differently with the Quantum Zone, which is the map that we play on. Anytime you get a tile or outside of a scheme, it causes quantum damage. It's basically being in an unfiltered internet zone.
Okay.
With no security or no protection, so you can go mad, you can just die instantly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very slow to move through it. We also have other factions that play well with the quantum noise, so they pull power from it, allows them to do other abilities. All the characters have separate abilities that allow them to activate when they're attacking, and they all have abilities that you can use your CS for. Cycle speed is what we use for movement. Each character has a separate cycle speed that they can have. They also have overclocking, which is basically putting their modem into overdrive. So that allows them to gain extra CS, extra cycle speed.
Okay.
Or use that cycle speed to do activities, movement, capture nodes. Nodes and pylons are basically like your servers, the center of the computer world.
Okay.
So everybody's trying to go after the nodes, and your pylons are kind of like your satellite hubs.
Okay.
So like individual factions control these satellites, and that's what gives them power, pulled off of the central node here.
Okay.
You want to take a turn? We'll show you how movement works,
yeah, sure.
and how attacking works and everything. So the way we do it is we calibrate in cycles. Every game usually only lasts about 5 cycles. So we keep track of that over here on this card. So after every cycle, you dot the one that you finished. You also calibrate your RAM here, like I said. So you got your avatar, would give you 3 RAM. So you'd mark this on 3. All these cards are made with this plastic laminate, so you can use dry erase markers on them.
Okay.
It just wipes right off. So you calibrate that. We have your deck hand. So over here, you would have your programs that you're going to activate. You take those and you put them in any order that you want them to activate in.
Okay.
Then you flip it over, and that becomes your control deck.
Okay.
Okay. Now the trick about it is you got to remember when you're holding them this way, you got to make sure when you lay them down that the one you want to go first is actually on the top and not on the bottom, because that can change your total play. Once the cards are down, you can't pick them back up. Okay. So if you want to reveal your first card, or should show you your first turn. Now those are the Riot Girls. Now in your own quantum zone, you have separate programs that you activate, functions and subroutines. Okay. Subroutines come in 2 different factions, segmented and linked. This one right here is a linked program, so you can see the difference between them. They both have move onto the units. Okay. Versus your linked programs, they all move together, they all attack together, they all take damage together. So if you would like to make your turn with those Riot Girls, your cycle speed up here tells you what your available movement is with an overclock at 2. Now when you use your overclock, that costs you RAM to overclock it. Okay. So 1 RAM, 1 overclock. So they have a movement of 4.
And these
3 right here are your Riot Girls.
So I just choose one, or do all 3?
You choose one, you complete all activation with 1 at a time.
All right.
So 1 can move, 1 can attack. Movement, you can go diagonally, or forwards or backwards. Awesome. Oh, I'm glad you would on that. These little resistor type looking things, mountains, this is called basically like heavy terrain. So it costs 2
so
movement spaces to go through those. Yep, the X's are unpassable. Can't even get into them. And the little eyeball ones are line of sight blockers. Okay. So you would have to stop there, or you'd have to overclock 1 and use 1 RAM to get you to move to there.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you want to just leave her there?
Yep, I'll leave her there.
Okay. They do have a ranged attack. and a melee attack. These Riot Girls are one of the few characters that have the ability to do both.
And range of 4 means it's only 4 spaces away?
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep,
so if you do want to overclock and move one more forward, you'd be able to make an attack.
Okay.
Do you want to do that, or do you want to move on to the next one?
What if I move here?
1, 2, 3, 4. That'll work too.
Yep.
Okay. So now we roll your dice for your attack. These are the symbols that you're trying to match.
The power symbol, the chip, and the
short.
Okay.
Yep. Now they don't have to be in any order. Okay, so you had 3 successes, but they're all the same. So that only counts as for your first category. So that would be the 1.
Okay.
Right? So now this little gear symbol around the
power symbol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we call those distortions.
Okay.
Some programs get a little fuzzy, get glitchy. Well, when you roll those, this is your ability that you can do with those.
Okay.
So you got 2 of those, so you can activate that ability if you would like.
Once per attack roll, after rolling the combat dice, but before damage is applied, this model may re-roll all of its combat dice?
All of its combat dice. You got this same exact thing.
Without the circle?
Yeah, with no distortion. So that does 1 hit, so that moves you over to the 1 damage. So the Praetorians here will take 1 damage.
Okay. And this is the life trackers here?
Yes, each Riot Girl has a different color. Each Riot Girl takes their damage individually. Okay. That's your segmented programs. The linked programs take their damage all together.
Okay.
Whereas if I do 5 damage to her, it don't carry over to the other ones. But if you do 5 damage to this one, that one takes the damage, then whatever's left goes on to the next one, and so on and so forth. So they all share damage. So okay, so you finished all your activations with that one, so you can now go on to the second one.
And here for the new stuff is we got the board in the book.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
That's perfect. Okay. They have a range of 4 as well. I think you're just a little bit too far.
Right.
So that'd be about all that she could do on that one.
We don't have demos, although we might tomorrow.
Okay, so that would complete your turn with these girls. So you put that into your discard pile. Then it would be my turn to go. I'm going to take my first movement with these Praetorians. So these were just like, I'm going to put this card over here so you can see the difference between them two. So this is a linked subroutine like you had, but they move all together since they're linked and these are segmented. So they got a combined movement of 4 CS. So we're going to take this one, we're going to move him 4 forward. 1, 2, 3, we'll go 3, 4 and be right there. Now all the rest of them, since they're linked, materialize to any adjacent square next to it. Now when placing that, you want to be very careful where you place them, because if you place them somewhere where there's unoccupied spaces and you can't fit them all in there, they just can't fit on the format sheet, so it's just kind of deleted. Okay. So they're right next to you there, so we're going to roll for their attack. They get 3 dice as well. All right, so I needed a chip, a short, and a crash, and I got just 1 chip. So they do 2 damage. So we use our dry erase marker. We were attacking this one right there, which is the red one. So you would mark 2 damage down on that red one.
Oh, that's cool.
So how do I drag right here?
Just dot it, yep.
And how do I tell which ones are which color?
They were painted. They had this little blue
I know that one has a red line on it, but the other ones didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I think that one's supposed to be the blue one.
Okay.
Symbolic. So whatever color.
Okay, so that would be the end of their turn, so then it would move back over to your turn again. So you choose your next activation, which is Tav.
Yep.
He has a cycle speed of 5 with an overclock of 2. So he could move up to 7 if he wanted.
3, 4. And he has a range of 3.
Right?
Now, do they block line of sight?
Yes, you cannot shoot through enemies to a different enemy or through yourself.
Okay, so let's say I target that one.
And they do line of sight corner to corner, as in 2 corners of yours have to be able to hit at least 1 corner of theirs.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, yep, so 3 dice, and that's the symbols you're looking to match. Switch, chip, chip. And you got a switch, a chip, and a short. Well, you got 2 out of the 3, so that'll move you out of the light and into the medium damage, so that'd be 4 damage.
And then do I have to have, how many circles do I have to have in order to use this?
That one you'd only need 1.
Okay.
This one over here requires 2, so they're all different depending on the ability.
Okay, so after applying damage, the target model suffers from burnout at the start of its next activation. For every circle rolled after the first, you may cause 1 additional enemy model adjacent to the target model to suffer from burnout at the start of its next activation.
So basically it's like a Molotov cocktail that spreads out.
Okay, so I'm doing 4 damage?
Yep. So the Praetorians will take 4. Now, like most programs, computer programs, all of these come with safeguards. All programs come with safeguards. So this program safeguard, if the attack causes damage, reduce the total amount of damage by 2.
Okay.
So you did 4 damage, so they only take 2 damage on that one. So he is up to 3, so one of those is almost dead. Okay. Did you want to? Oh, I suffered damage, so I'll have to take a burnout token, which means at the start of my next turn, I roll a dice, and I take damage for what the dice says.
Okay.
Different symbols. You got 3 for the switch, 5 for that, and 7 for that.
Okay.
So that would have been the end of your first turn. So I take my next turn. I'm going to use the Grenadier. He's a function just like he was. So he's a program all by himself. He's got a cycle speed of 5. He's back here, so he's going to move forward 1, 2, 3. He's got a range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just going to stay right there, and we're going to try to shoot at the right girl there. Get a roll there. We needed 2 chips and a switch. We got 2 chips and a crash. I got a disruption there, but I needed 2, so I don't really ain't gonna do much for me. So we got 2 successes, so that puts us up to the second damage, which is 4.
Okay.
Okay. Your programs also come with safeguards too.
Before making an attack, the attacking model rolls 1 less combat die.
So I should have rolled 1, so one less. So we'll re-roll that with only 2. So now I only have 1 success for the chip. So now it's only 1 damage. So now she only takes 3 damage. So this one would have been the green one.
Okay.
So you would take your dry erase marker.
3?
Yep, 3.
Okay.
So that would have ended his activation. That would be your turn. Now you still do have 3 RAM over here that you can use to overclock to get more cycle speed if you want, or you could rotate a tile. The tiles cost 3 for the small ones, 5 for the big one, for the medium ones, and we have a bigger one yet that costs 7 to turn that.
Okay.
And it's only 1 if you want to scoot it away or move it up or down.
Okay. And overclocking just means I can move further.
Yeah, it gives you extra CS. For some of your cards, a lot of your actions on the back require CS to do the action. So you can move a couple, use some CS to activate that ability, and then attack, and then move again. You don't have to move, attack, then be done. You can move a little bit, do this, attack, move. As long as you got the CS, the cycle speed to allow you to do them, you can keep continuing.
Left turn.
So for 4 CS,
he picks a model.
Yeah, so I can switch places with her, but that means I have to overclock.
Yep. So then you have to use what, 1?
Yeah.
So that would drop you down to 2. So now you got 2 left.
And then now I can attack.
Yeah, you can attack. So you roll your 3 dice, and these are the symbols that you're trying to match now. Switch, chip, and a crash. Oh, chip, crash. So you got a disruption on that one too. So his, that needed 2 of them. So, not quite, but you got the second, 2 successes. So that moves you over to the second one, which is 6 damage.
And then this symbol is here. Is that?
Yeah, you got 2 out of the 3.
Okay.
So that puts you from light, medium, heavy.
Okay.
So you only got 2 that
so
match.
Medium. So 6.
So 6 damage would go through to that Praetorian.
Yep.
And their safeguard reduces damage by 2.
Yep.
So he takes 4. Okay. Right? So now I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I got enough to fill in that blue, so that the target that you were targeting is the one that dies, and then the splashover damage still affects all the rest of them.
Okay.
So if you would have had 2 more damage, another one would have died too.
All right.
Okay, so that would have been the end of your activation or the end of your turn. So now, when you're at the end of your turn, when you recalibrate, you just pick your deck back up again, determine which order you want them in, and then you regenerate your RAM.
Okay.
Okay. You get RAM from your avatar, nodes, and pylons, right?
Okay.
So right now you have another availability of 3 RAM. Unfortunately, our RAM don't carry over.
Yep.
So we're back up to 3 RAM again.
All right.
And then that begins the start of your turn. We did 1 cycle, so we crossed that one out too.
Okay.
And then you always redo your deck before I start my next activation.
Okay.
Because if you don't, I make my next turn, that might change what you are going to do.
Okay.
So is that the order you want them in?